Ooh, welcome back to Sundown Acres. Well, good morning, everybody. So back on Sundown Acres, feeding all the animals this morning. And yesterday, I knew we had a bunch of rain coming in the afternoon. So I got out here early morning, and when I brought those does home, the commercial Kikos home, noticed that there's been some strife between the registered Kikos and the commercial Kikos. And guys, there's a size difference between those two sets of Kikos. Registered Kikos are a lot larger than commercial does. The commercial does are, and in every herd you're going to have a queen. So in our herd, the queen is Star. She's a registered Kiko. She's almost twice the size of these commercial does that I have over here, and these commercial does are going to make some pretty babies. I tell you right now, with Mr. Always by my side here. But what I had to do, because they wasn't even letting those commercial does in the barn. So what I did yesterday, before that rain started coming in, is I took the hay out from underneath the hay feeder, all right, and I put walls around three sides and made a nice little goat shelter for all those commercial does. Now they seem to be doing okay with it, with the walls on this thing. It seems to keep the rain off of them pretty good. It's got a nice roof on it, and the registered Kikos are in the goat barn. So I'm really sad that I didn't get the video of me putting that thing together yesterday. But it had to be done in a pretty fast manner. Like I said, I got up yesterday. Rain started about 1 o'clock yesterday, so I had a limited amount of time in order for me to get the walls up on this little shelter for them. But I've actually started feeding them separately. I keep the commercial Kikos over by their little shelter with their feed pans, and I keep the registered Kikos underneath in the goat barn with their feed trough. So that actually seems to be working out pretty well. Everybody's eating plenty, believe me. They're putting on a little bit of weight. They were a little skinny when I got them here, but hopefully we'll get these girls fit and start seeing some babies out of them, some kids out of them. All right, guys, so today we are done with our freezing here in Texas. It doesn't look like we got any more freezes coming. We're headed into March come, Tuesday? So what's today's, no, March is tomorrow. I mean, March 1st is tomorrow. So we'll actually be into March tomorrow. So we're going to start doing some planting today. So I got some tomatoes and some bush beans and stuff like that I want to plant, and we'll take you all along. All right, guys, let's go. Alright, everybody, so I've got just enough material to plant 3 plants. We're going to be planting 2 sets of tomatoes. I'm going to do 2 tomato plants in each one of my tubs. So it'll give me 4 tomato plants total, and we'll see how those 2 work out. Maybe I'll be able to fit a 3rd one in there next time. But we're going to be planting hybrid tomatoes, beef steak tomatoes today. We're going to be planting bush beans, and we're going to be planting some summer squash. And now that our freezes are done, I'm pretty sure that we're going to be able to plant these from seeds. When I planted the other plants, my turnips, my broccoli, my spinach, and my lettuce, that are just doing fantastic even through the freezes we've had. We planted them in seed starting packs, right? So here, I'll show you what one looks like. So we planted them in little peat moss seed starting packs. That way you could plant them straight into the soil once they had sprouted and had a good thing going. You can buy the plastic ones, you can make your own soil blocks, but I found this was really easy for me to do, and as you can see, the plants did really good along the way. So I've had this tub set up for a little while. This is one of the last ones that I made. We just hadn't filled it with with a potty mix that I need. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to open the potty mix, and we're going to pour a little bit in, then we're going to throw a little bit of fertilizer in the bottom, right on top. So, of course I didn't bring my pocket knife, so we get to do this the hard way. Alright. So guys, remember when you're doing wicking tubs, you've got to use potting mix. Do not use potting soil. Because potting mix allows the seeds and the plants and the roots to grow like it's supposed to. So I'm going to go ahead and get this bag, start pouring this bag in. Now it takes about 1 1/3 2 cubic foot bag of potting mix to fill one of these tubs. Okay? So we're gonna put about, I don't know, right around half a bag in here to start with. And I'm gonna grab just a little bit of triple 13, and we're just gonna sprinkle that in there. And as the water wicks up, it'll fertilize those plants as the water is coming up. And then we're going to finish off this bag. Now, this looks pretty full, guys, but you got about another 3 inches to the top, and this is going to settle. All right, so that's the reason I say it takes 1 1/3 of a bag to fill one of these up. All right, well, there you go. So if y'all missed how I make these wicking tubs, I'll post a video right up there somewhere, probably on this side. I'm not sure which side it'll show up on, but it'll be up here somewhere. So if you're interested in how I made these, and then just click on that video and you'll be able to see how I did it. There's a lot of different ways different people do it. Daniel Arms, I've seen how he does his. I've seen how other people have done theirs, but that's how I do it. So now that that's done, we get to start planting. So these are the tomatoes that I'm planting. These are beefsteak tomatoes, hybrid tomatoes, and I'm hoping that these come up out of here real nice like. So we're going to put water on top of these seeds, and we're going to probably come out and water them every day. Even though there's water in the bottom of this wicking tub, we really want those seeds to germinate and make it to where they'll actually start reaching for that water that's at the bottom of this tub. So for the first week or two, you're going to water them until you got some really good sprouts going. And once you got those really good sprouts going, the wicking tub will take over and do what it's supposed to do. So a lot of times when you buy your plants from the store, they're already about yay tall, which is perfect size. Well, when you do that, when you start them, when you pull them from that little container and plant them into the ground, that actually causes some kind of shock to them. And that's the reason I'm planting the seeds straight into the soil, and I will just water the soil a little bit every day on top, which is real
easy to do, especially if you got a spray bottle. Spray bottle just comes and spritz it down a little bit. They just need a little bit of water. Don't overwater them. Just a little bit of water to where till they get sprouted. Once they get about yay tall, then they'll take off and go on their own. So in this one, I'm going to plant bush beans, and these guys will become some pretty good size plants. And the great thing about bush beans is that they are actually made, or they do really, really well in pots. So we're going to put a couple of them in the ground here and see how we do. And just like the tomatoes, we'll come out and water these guys every day. We're just going to put a couple of seeds in each hole. And that should give them plenty of room to sprout and make some pretty good sized plants. And our last one is some delicious summer squash. Now the wife isn't too fond of squash, but I love it. All right, guys, so there you go. I've got my plants planted. Let's get them watered.
Why do we do this? For me, for one, I do it because I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing life on the farm. I enjoy eating the vegetables that I am growing. I guess I have a lot of my father in me. He always was more self-reliant. He was more reliant upon himself than he was for anybody else. And I remember growing up, him planting excess of food, not only to feed us and his family, but to feed his extended family. You know, give vegetables, things like that to his mother, to his brothers and sisters, and still to this day he plants fields of potatoes, you know, and he uses those he gives those potatoes to the family, and he's continuing to help feed his family. He's in his 70s, you know, and he's still continuing to help feed his family, which for a lot of people nowadays, they eat processed foods, and even I'm guilty of that. There's a lot of processed foods, super simple, easy stuff to do. You know, you go and you buy all your stuff at the store. You buy your eggs in a carton, you know, in a dozen eggs in a carton. How long has those eggs been there? My eggs are fresh daily. So duck eggs, chicken eggs, right? So I have given and sold eggs to people, and every single one of them tell me what a difference it is between a farm fresh egg that's a day or 2 or 3 or 4 old compared to up to 30 and 45 days that you're buying at the store. So these goats charging at me over here. Like, Goose Lee and I have a love-hate relationship. I love him, he hates me kind of thing. So guys, I do this because it is something that I enjoy. A lot of people do a whole lot of things. I do, they do things that they enjoy. This is what I enjoy. And it's not that it's a hobby. It's not. This is how I'm hoping to, when I actually get to retirement age, being able to supply to me and my family. So we'll see how it goes. And hopefully, a few years from now, this will get worked out. Guys, remember to like, subscribe, and share today's video. I appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see y'all next time at Sundown Acres.